What is going on, Siege family? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you're also having an amazing day as well. Today, we're going to have a wonderful training. As you can see in the description, we've got a special announcement we're going to go over today, but also we're going to be talking about some mindset as well. So, hope you guys got your coffees and let's dive straight into this. So, there's a few things I want to dive into here today. My main goal, though, my main mission behind this training today is to really imprint this into your guys' minds, like really make sure that this makes sense. So that way you can focus on the right things when it comes to your weight loss, okay? And we can get you in the right vehicle when it comes to your weight loss. Because a lot of time, we have the desire to change, right? But oftentimes we take the wrong vehicle to make those changes happen. So that way we can't sustain it long term. It's almost like we self-sabotage from the start. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. So jumping into it straight, first thing is the statement here is your thoughts equals your beliefs. Okay, if you constantly think about something, it's going to become a belief about yourself. If I constantly think that like I suck, okay, or I'm ugly, or I'm fat or overweight or something like that, right? If I constantly think that over time, I'm going to believe that. Okay. And what happens with that is that after I start to believe it, then it impacts my emotional health. Okay. So then I start feeling crappy about myself. Oh, I'm overweight, or I suck. And it impacts my emotions. And eventually that's going to dictate my actions. Because if I'm not feeling good about myself, if I think that I suck at something, right? I'm not going to go put myself forward and do things. I'm not going to try new things because I think that I suck. So I'm not going to go try it. Okay. So then it starts to influence your actions. And then what happens after a while is that your actions consistently, by doing that, it's going to become a habit. Okay, and I'm sure we can all understand. We all understand how influential our habits are in our lives, right? I use a few analogies all the time. Like, for example, when you guys are driving to work in the morning, right? When you're driving to work in the morning, and you're heading there, you can literally be daydreaming up a whole new world. You could be daydreaming about yourself in Hawaii, chilling out on the beach, drinking some margaritas. But in reality, you're driving to work. And you're not even focused on the work yet. No one gets killed. You get there safe and sound. You got no what are those called? When you ruin the front bumper, nothing bad's happened. How is that possible? How are you able to do that? It's because it's a habit. Okay, it's because you're in airplane mode while your subconscious mind is taking you to work because you've done it so many times that you can just do it automatically. Okay, so you can literally be up in La La Land and your body and everything else is just driving you to work. Again, because it's your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is where our habits are, our traumas, our beliefs, the whole nine yards. Okay, same thing with brushing your teeth in the morning. You just brush it. You brush it like drinking a coffee, right? You wake up in the morning. For example, for me, when I make breakfast in the morning, I'm making the eggs, getting everything ready. Automatically, I don't even think about it, guys. I have podcasts in. I'm over in La La Land. But yet my body's so programmed now that I make a coffee. Okay? It just happens. I just go get it ready, just do it automatic. I don't think about it. It takes no energy, really. I just do it. And the reason why is because it's a habit. Okay? So imagine this. Imagine if you can get your habits on track to the point where you are just fit naturally. Okay, it's literally just a habit to you where your outcome is you having that dream body. Okay, you living in that dream health that you always wanted. That's what I want to help you guys with here because that's how you truly make a permanent transformation is by making it a lifestyle. Okay, it's not a diet. It's not like you follow this crazy bodybuilding program. Nothing like that. It's a whole different vehicle. It's about making this a lifestyle. Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. Because that's the best part about this, guys, is like, for me, for example, with my eating, everything that I do, with my meal prepping, my eating, my whole system that I have set up for myself to get the body that I want, it's a habit to me. Okay. Yes, I still have to battle with my weak inner mind sometimes, but it's such a habit to me that like it is so easy to do now. Like it's so easy. And just remember that it wasn't like that, overnight. Like it was, and it wasn't like that all the time. I literally took like 2+ years trying to get into working out alone. And I remember my brother, my dad, they'd make fun of me. They'd try to push me to go do it. But yet it wasn't a habit to me. And I didn't understand, like, and I always say this, like, I didn't understand, who in the world would want to go to a gym sweat and you're lifting these weights, like who wants to do that? Who wants to spend 30 minutes or an hour doing that? It didn't make sense to me. Okay. Instead I'd rather go home, sit down on the couch, watch TV, eat grilled cheese and drink Pepsi. Like, yeah. So that just shows you that, it wasn't built overnight and it wasn't, automatic or nothing like that. But again, now I can't wait to get to the gym. I love the gym. Okay. It's a habit to me. It's normal to me. It's my new normal, right? So and that's the crazy thing about this is like, yeah, it might seem uncomfortable for you at first. Okay. When you're switching your eating habits, when you're changing up your eating, when you're changing up, like, you're working out, stuff like that. It might be uncomfortable at first, but that's normal because it's not normal to you yet, right? It's not a part of your habits. But once you actually do it long enough, guess what, guys, is that it just becomes a part of who you are, and it's awkward and weird to not do it. Okay. And that's the craziest thing to think about. Like, I went from hating working out to now it's like I can't go a couple days without working out because I go crazy because I love working out so much. It's a part of who I am. It's my identity. Okay. Changing our identities here. So, a cool little side note is when you're changing your identity, you don't want to tell yourself, I can't do something, because then it's like you're almost punishing yourself, right? I can't have that wine glass every night. No, I don't drink wine every night. I only drink it really on the weekends, here and there. New identity. Okay? So I want to give you an example of how it doesn't serve you, and I'm going to walk you through a real life scenario of what I did to accomplish a certain goal. Okay? And how I built a habit around it. Okay? Because it's just crazy how this stuff works, everyone. So this is how it doesn't serve you. Okay? Here's just a random example I'm going to make up here. Okay? So let's say when you were younger, okay, and I've had clients, guys, I have clients who literally struggle with their weight ever since they're a little kid. They're overweight. I have clients who menopause caused them to gain weight, okay, or after college, or after a breakup or a traumatic event. It could happen anytime. But here's an example. Let's say when you're really young. Let's say you're in elementary school, right, and you're a little overweight in elementary school, okay, and you get called fat when you're younger. Okay, let's say somebody calls you fat when you're younger. And let's say that you continuously get bullied, all right? And the next thing, though, is that you have nobody there to like reaffirm you and tell you, like, help you out, okay? And you have these constant thoughts in your mind. I'm fat. You're sitting on the bus going home after school. I am fat. Like, I'm fat. And you just constantly tell yourself that thought, okay? And that thought's just racing your mind. And you keep getting called fat. So the thought doesn't go away because it's always there every day, okay? What happens here is that after a time, if you keep having these bad thoughts about yourself, you're going to start believing that you're fat. You're going to start thinking and believing like, I am fat. Like, this is who I am. I'm fat. And you're going to have that constant belief about yourself that I am fat. And you know what that's going to do is next thing that's going to do is you're going to reaffirm that belief through your actions. Okay. So when it comes to gym time, you're going to be like, I don't run. I'm not going to run because I'm fat. I'm fat, so I don't run. I'm fat, so I don't do this. And it's going to start impacting your actions, okay? Oh, I can't go do that because I'm fat. I can't go play this sport because I'm fat. I can't go ask this person out because I'm fat. It's going to start affecting your actions, okay? It's going to literally impact the actions that you take. So what happens after that? The actions and experience get affected. Then those actions create habits, okay? So then let's say you're not as active because you believe you're fat, and you believe that's what you believe, that because you're fat, okay, you're not active. You don't become active. You take any kind of actions that are active, okay? Next thing you know, you have habits now that are around that. So it's like you literally created your whole lifestyle to match this identity of you being fat, and you can constantly reaffirm it. You constantly take the actions to produce that result, okay? And here's the trick, guys, is that our minds do not like being wrong. We want to be right, okay? Our mind's got an ego of itself, and we want to reaffirm our beliefs about ourselves because this is how we stay safe. This is how we've lived through all this time, is by having these actions in place, because our mind, when we can make these actions and everything habits, we don't have to use energy to think about it, okay? And those habits keep us safe. It keeps us alive, okay? So it's like an animalistic thing. So when you have these horrible, like these bad thoughts and beliefs about yourself, you're going to constantly reaffirm it because, like it or not, that's your safe zone. That's your normal zone. Okay. So does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. Drop a thumbs up if that makes sense, or let me know if you guys need some clarity on that. But I hope that makes sense for you. So let me give you a real life example, though, on how I was able to use this to accomplish a really special goal of mine. Okay, and it's going to be completely opposite of like weight loss and fitness in general, but this is really going to drive things home for you. Okay, so here is an example. Okay, so when I was younger, I was really into BMXing, okay, doing tricks and stuff like that on my bike. And I remember that there was a certain trick that I want to accomplish, okay, and it was a tail whip. Very, very hard trick, okay. And at first, I never really believed in myself because it was such a hard trick. Nobody else around me could do it. It was like a professional thing, okay. But then, what I started doing is I started watching videos of other kids my age and other people who would do tail whips, okay? And then I started thinking about it. I started imagining it, and then I just came to the realization, like, okay, if these people can do it, then I can do it too. So I'm just going to try to learn how to do it, okay? And what I would do to try to learn this is, number one, I watched videos all the time, tutorials, so training. So for you guys, trainings like this that you're watching right now, right? Weight loss trainings, fitness trainings. So I would watch video trainings on this on how to do it, okay? And then the next thing I would do is I would practice it. So I sit there and I practice it and I practice the trick just on the ground, not actually like commit it fully, but I would practice it a little bit. Okay, and I try to do it and just jumping on my bike. I try to do it jumping on my bike and just getting the feel for it. Okay, so for weight loss, it could be like, let's say you start a diet or you try, you try little challenges, little things like that, right? You're just getting the feel for it. Now, the next thing that I would do here is I start actually practicing. Okay, I actually started practicing it, actually committing a little bit to it. Okay, and I just kept sticking with it. The next thing that I do that was really powerful, though, is that I started visualizing myself doing it. I started feeling it. I started visualizing myself bringing it around and actually landing it. I did that consistently all the time. Okay, and the next thing is I got tools to help me out. So I get ramps, I build ramps to help me learn how to do it. Okay, so for you guys, maybe it's like meal prep containers or like a scale and stuff to track your progress, little things like that, right? And then after that, I committed harder. Okay, so I realized that there was something that I had this fear in my mind when I was doing it, when I was practicing the trick. I had a fear that I was going to crash, like I was going to fall and get hurt. But here's the thing, is that if I wouldn't commit, I would get hurt. I would get hurt. The bike would come around and slam my legs and it would kill. So what I realized is that when I actually fully dove into it, like gave it my full commitment, tried my 100% best, and fully believed that it was actually possible, I would get closer and closer and closer. Okay? And then what happened, and this is another example to use for your weight loss. If you just dip your toes in, if you just try little subscriptions or programs here and there or anything like that, then it's like you might get a little bit of results, but then you always end up back at square one, right? But when you truly cross the line in the sand, make a full commitment to yourself and never look back and think about progress over perfection. I'll fall down 1,000 times, but I'll get it up 1,001 times. That's how you make a true transformation. So anyways, kept doing this. And eventually, guess what? I finally got it. After consistently trying it like hundreds of times, I broke 3+ seats on my bike. I broke many parts, but I finally got it. Okay, I finally did it. And I did it and did it and did it and did it and did it. Now I can just do it automatically because it's a habit now. Okay, because I can just do it because my brain rewired. Because here's the thing, is that if you do something over and over and over and over again, even if you fail 1,000 times, eventually what's going to happen is that the mind is going to realize, like, I don't want to keep failing. I don't want this to keep hurting, okay? So it's going to start rewiring and finding ways to make it work because it's realizing you're not quitting, okay? So you can literally rewire those patterns inside to now be able to do it. So, for example, before in the past, okay, I didn't have the patterns in my brain to be able to do that trick because I'd never done it before. I couldn't do it. I never tried it before, right? But now I know exactly how it's done, so I can just do it. Isn't that crazy to think about? So when it comes to your weight loss, it's the same exact thing. You can rewire your patterns. You can change your habits to align you for success when it comes to your weight loss. Okay? So I want to give that example there. So when it comes to that, one thing, sip of coffee. When it comes to your weight loss, one thing that I want you guys to try to do from now on is because here's the thing. Emotions are one of the things that really kill so many people's results. Like emotions get in the way so much. Okay. And I'm not just saying like mood swings and stuff like that, or if it's time of month, things like that. Like just in general, emotions. Like for me, my emotions are up and down, like up and down. Like I don't rely on my emotions anymore because like they can be all over the place. And I might not do anything different, but I might wake up one day the happiest person in the world. And I might wake up the next day and I'm like, I want to sit back in bed and do nothing. But here's the thing, is that if I allow my emotions to run my life, I will get nowheres because I am naturally a lazy person. I don't want to wake up in the morning and go to the gym. I would rather sleep in, lay in bed. I don't always want to do work. I would rather watch movies, like, screw around. But here's the thing, like I'm saying, that I can't rely on my emotions because my emotions won't get me to my goals. Okay. That's why luckily you got to have goals. You got to have things that you're working towards. Otherwise, if you let the emotions take control, they'll steer you off track and they'll do whatever you're feeling like doing. Okay. Which a lot of time we don't feel like going to the gym and working out or prepping our meals and stuff like that. Right. But again, like I said before, is that if you do it long enough, it becomes robotic. Okay. It's a habit. Okay. I don't feel good, bad, nothing. I just do it like brushing my teeth. It's just a part of who I am and what I do. Okay? So when it comes to your weight loss, instead of looking at it like this emotional battle, like I gotta lose this weight, I gotta get there overnight, I gotta see the scale drop, it's gotta happen, and getting so overwhelmed and emotional on it, just look at it like a skill. Okay? Look at it like a skill. This is something that I gotta progress at and get better at. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not going, I'm not going to become a professional overnight at weight loss. I have to practice to get there. You know what that's going to do for you? Is that's going to remove the emotions when it comes to looking at the scale. So for example, when you go look at the scale, and let's say if you're copying your emotions on this journey, you look at the scale and you see that you didn't lose weight that week. Oh my gosh. Constant mind running, the doubt, you're going to feel like crap, you're not going to have good thoughts about yourself, you're going to quit, fall off. But if you look at like a scale, you realize there's no weight loss that week, then you can logically think, okay, so what do I have to do differently this week? What did I mess up on last week? You can take full accountability. You can reflect on your past week, see what you messed up on, so that way you can keep pushing forward the next week and get a little bit better. Okay? And guess what? You got a little bit better that next week. Oh, you saw a little bit of progress. Okay. Keep doing that. Keep that over and over and over again. And let's say that little skill that you're working on that you realized that you messed up on last week was that snacking at nighttime. Okay? So this week, the following week, instead, what you do, you spread out your meals a little bit more so you're full in the nighttime. Make sure you had a little more protein. Make sure you got enough water intake. And you got a good bedtime schedule set up. You stuck to that, and now you're noticing that you're not snacking at nighttime anymore. And guess what? The scale, as a reflection, dropped. So now it's like, okay, well, I got to keep going. So then you can look at it as like a skill, right? And you can practice skills. You can practice your actions, changing your actions, and you do that long enough, and you build the habits, and then it's your lifestyle. And then you do it over and over and over, it becomes a part of who you are, okay? Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Drop a thumbs up in the comments if that does. So that is going to be a game changer for you, is when you change it and you look at it as a skill. Because as one thing I always say to people is that, like, I get it. I get that this is an emotional battle. I've been there. Okay, I've been on both sides before. I've been the extremely skinny kid where you literally see the ribs from my chest. I was that insecure kid who was like the small kid, and as a guy, that sucked. Okay, and then I've also went to the stage where I got a little fat. Like I got a little weight on my body. I had the extra belly fat. I was getting insecure. I was pinching my belly all the time. I was driving. Like it's just not good. Okay, I felt it on my body, and I've been there before too. So I get it. It's not fun when you're not feeling good in your skin. But here's the thing: is that if you try to get there overnight, guess what? It's going to come right back overnight as well. Okay, and more. So if you want to make a true change, we got to change our actions. We got to change our habits. Okay, we got to change our identities of who we are. Okay, And when you're making that transformation happen, it doesn't have to be as hard. I mean, what do you guys think is harder? Showing up for yourself every day, trying to improve and get better and working on certain actions and habits. And yeah, it maybe take you an extra month or two to hit your end goal, or eating freaking salad and plain chicken every single day of your life to lose 15, 20 pounds in a month, quit, and then gain it all back the next couple months. And then you feel crap about yourself. And then you're second guessing, is my body broken? Is, my metabolism broken? Are my hormones messed up? No, you're just taking the wrong vehicle to your transformation. Okay? So that's what I tell all my clients and everybody is like, are you really going to care? Let's say 2 years from now, when you're at your goal body, you're walking on the beach, you're wearing that bikini, you realize, like, holy shit, like, I'm wearing these shorts right now, and I used to be so uncomfortable in my body of my cellulite. I used to hate my arms, and now it's like they're so toned. I'm actually in the gym working out right now, and 2 years ago, I used to hate it. Are you really going to sit there and care that it took an extra month or two to hit your goal? No. You're just going to be so happy that you're finally there. Okay? You're going to be so happy that you finally made it. Okay? And as a side note, this is why we got to focus on ourselves and not other people's progress and other people's journeys. When I post people, my clients, some clients lose 3 pounds plus a week. Some clients lose a half pound a week. Everybody's different. Everybody makes progress differently. Okay? Stay in your lane though and focus on what you gotta do and what you gotta work on. Okay? So that leads me, and that's why a custom lifestyle approach is the key. Okay? Diets will not solve the answers, because here's the thing is that I break down most people's struggles on their weight loss journey in two main classifications. And I call them personal problems and general problems. General problems is like not sure what to eat, not sure how to put a meal plan together, not sure how much protein I should have. General problems, right? Personal ones are like I am a major sugar addict. Like I crave sugar. I can't kick the craving of sugar. Self-doubt, like, the 0 to 100 mindset, perfectionist mindset, little things like that are actual personal problems that most people don't deal with, but you deal with them, and those are battles that you got to break. Okay, and that's why I always say, like, a diet is just a waste of time, because you'll follow the diet and you'll get to your goal, which is awesome. But guess what? You never fixed the issues that caused you to gain the weight in the first place. So if you don't fix those issues that caused you to gain the weight, guess what's going to happen? The second that you stop this diet, you're going to go right back to those old issues and those old habits and actions that you used to take. And over time, you're going to gain the weight back. You're going to go right back to square one. Okay. And that's hard on the head. Okay. So that's why, again, the lifestyle approach is the key. Okay. Hope that makes sense to everybody. And that leads me to my announcement, the last part of this training, which is my brand new ebook. Okay. And it's called Shaping Thoughts, Shaping Bodies. Okay, and it's exactly very similar to what we talked about here today, but it goes a lot more in depth. It has frameworks that you can use to help reprogram your mind and your habits. I highly recommend this. Okay, I really recommend that you take this. It's free too. It's an ebook. You just read it. It's quick to read, and read it like 7 times to really make sure it imprints in your mind. I promise you, if you believe in that, if you take action on that and you stay consistent with it, I can't tell you when, but eventually you will get there. Okay. Oh, there we go. And if you need any help, of course, you can always shoot me a message. There's a link in there. You can book a consultation with me, or shoot me a private message, CH, to see how I can help you finally make this transformation, make a lifestyle out of it, so you can get back to your dream health and your dream body and never worry about this ever again. Okay? So if you want the guide, though, all you have to do is message me or comment down below, mind, and I'll send you over a free copy. And if you have any more questions, shoot me a message down below, or you can private message me, and make sure you leave a smiley face with like the sunglasses if you made it this far in the training. Okay? All right, Matt, I'll see you guys all later on the next training. I hope you enjoyed this one. Crush it. You got this.